It's Week 10 of the NFL, and we have Stephon Gilmore, who's been stepping up to the challenges all season, now with 8 interceptions. It's the Giants and the Cowboys, and it comes your way next.
Just a gorgeous fall afternoon in the heart of Texas. No weather to speak of. Sun out, roof open. Yes, yes, and yes. A great day for football at AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Today, boy, what a matchup. Two NFL franchises with so much history, so much tradition, getting set to do battle here, as it'll be the New York Giants taking on the Dallas Cowboys. Hello again, everyone. I'm Brandon Gautin, joined as always by Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Cowboy team entering play. They come in off another victory a weekend ago. That ran their win streak up to 7 now.
And I think that win last week established them as Super Bowl frontrunners. They're playing with confidence and swagger, and you need that to go a long way.
Just about time to rock as toe gets ready to meet leather. And we are underway from AT&T Stadium. And no run back on the opening kickoff. It'll come out to the 25. And the Giants ready to go now on offense. And under center is the man in possession of a new contract for 2023 and beyond. In his 5th season now, Daniel Jones.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it, because they ran the ball some, they threw it accurately. 1 touchdown pass. So he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
We take a look at his numbers on the ground last week. He was creeping up toward 200 yards. Thought he was going to get there. Didn't quite make it, but also 2 rushing touchdowns.
And even if he only got about half those numbers this week, his team would take it in a heartbeat, wouldn't they? Because last week, he was spectacular.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Now Jones. And a quick throw here, that's complete. 7 yards there and a 1st down. So they give up the completion there. But defensively, Charles, you're going up against a quarterback here who's had some moments, but really a lot of ups and downs in the early part of his career. What's the plan against a guy like that?
Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race.
Loose inside the 30, inside the 10.
Now all the way in. Touchdown, New York.
Saquon Barkley. Halfway to 100 now with career touchdown number 50. And the Giants march right down the field in 3 plays to claim the early advantage.
Graham Gano on for the extra point. It's up, it's good, and the Giants have a 7-0 lead.
So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it's capped off by a touchdown run from Saquon Barkley. Kevontae Turpin now from his end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. Time for Dak Prescott and the Dallas offense to go to work. Prescott, of course, the former 4th-round pick in 2016 out of Mississippi State.
And I'll bet he's talking to his guys about resisting the temptation to try and turn this into an up-and-down game. Almost like basketball, where both teams press, and one team gets an advantage, the other team's trying to run with them, and they're just not equipped for it. Doesn't matter whether you're equipped or not. Just settle in, get calm before you go for the big strikes.
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line.
The rushing numbers for Pollard last week.
2 trips to the end zone and well past 100 yards.
And going back and watching the film, we saw every kind of run from him, didn't we? We saw some power, we saw finesse, we saw speed, and what I love the most, he finished each and every run.
And they'll run it here. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3.
You talk about this Giant defense.
They played really well in the win over the Raiders a week ago.
And the big difference in the game, Their ability to force turnovers. Multiple, in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, the big difference in the game.
It was impressive. Now the question, can they duplicate it? And this is going to be a Cowboys first down as the tackle made just shy of the 40.
Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, their defense gave up a touchdown on the first drive. How about how they're responding, coming back? That's a big third down pickup to keep their drive alive.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll try to throw now. Prescott forced out to his left. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down.
This early in the game, it's all about making steady progress downfield, hoping to lead to early points. And you can do it with your actual play calls or sometimes something a little more improvised, as we just saw there.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Brandon, watching their tape from last week, I saw plenty of plays like we just saw there, forcing incompletions. It was key in their win last week. They're hoping the same thing happens this time out, too.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down leads us to 3rd and inches. Now a shotgun handoff to Pollard. And they nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 47. Give him 15 there, and the Cowboys have a first. This running game so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity. And that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week. And right now, we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. The Cowboys at 7-1 now on the year. And they've been cooking these last couple months. Winners of 7 of their last 8 games.
And as much as we hate to play this game, you know I'm going to do it anyway. Extrapolate that over a full season. What does that come out to, partner? 14-2. And anyone in the NFL, they'd sign up for that record, that's for sure.
And he's going to get this pretty close to the 1st down marker at the Giants' 28. 41 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. Well, this defense for the Giants, they played really well in the win over the Raiders a week ago.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there. And they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
9th play coming up here on this drive. This is 3rd and a yard. Trying to run for it with Pollard. And he gets the 1st down here as he's taken down at the 24. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold him to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
So the completion good for just 3. And that will bring up 2nd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Pollard will take it up the gut. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Slot man moves right. He'll get an opportunity with it on the touch pass. And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds.
And that's something you have to get ready for defensively because in today's NFL, teams will use their wide receivers on jet sweeps, end arounds. They'll move them back in the backfield and make them running backs. Partner, this was much more of a tap pass, but effective nonetheless.
And I think both guys love it. If you're a quarterback, it's an easy completion. If you're a wide receiver, you get the easy reception and also a chance to try to make a play with your feet. And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 1st quarter. First and goal and a chance to get that initial touchdown right back. Pollard is in. Touchdown, Dallas.
That's a great response here in this first quarter. And what I like about it is how they put this drive together. The other guys scored quickly to start the game, but this was smart football to not feel like you have to go out and score quickly yourself. So they worked the ball down the field, took their time, and finished with the touchdown run.
Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. And he's sure looking like a lock for a 1,000-yard season. Don't know if he's going to get it in this game, but he'd probably like to just to get past that point.
Yeah, and if he doesn't, as you noted, there's still time, still opportunity. There's still more games to be played. So, yeah, it's not a lock. But barring injury, it certainly looks like he's going to get there. And what an accomplishment that is. Anytime you get over 1,000 yards, you're celebrated in the NFL.
It's been quite a season. Still a couple chapters left in that book, though. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. They'll go to Barkley again. Avoids him at the 40. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 88 yards rushing for him here as he starts to draw closer to a 1,000-yard campaign. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
Saw the linebacker Damone Clark coming through with a stop. These two teams met at MetLife Stadium earlier this year with the Giants winning that one. So they are gunning for the sweep here in Dallas. Throwing Jones. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter. You look at this Cowboy defense. Now, they've been a very good unit against the pass, defending at 5th best in the league.
And not just speed, not just their physical skills. You know what pulls it all together for the secondary? Their smarts and communication. They play really well as a unit.
To throw on 3rd down, Jones. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line. Second drive forthcoming here for the Dallas Cowboys. Just the one misstep for them in the first half of the season. 7-1 is the record at the midway point. And in terms of whatever power rankings you want to go by, they're at or near the top of the list in terms of best teams in the National Football League.
And for me, in my little bit of rankings here, I've got them at the top. I know there's still 2 months to go. We've seen teams get off the hot starts and then fade away due to injuries or the schedule or whatever. But unless there are a rash of injuries on this team, I'd be surprised if they are the 1st or 2nd seed come playoff time.
Prescott looks to throw on 1st. He finds his man, complete. It's Ferguson. 7-7, our score after 1. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Cowboys in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That play was all Bobby Okereke as he got there and dragged him down for the loss. They'll have to deal with a 2nd and 14 now after the loss. play fake. Here's Prescott. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Yeah, some real defensive resistance there, saying not so fast to a good drive. They had marched to the end zone the last time out.
They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. He'll fire deep downfield for Lamb. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
I like the fact that he took the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
And the Cowboys going to bring on Brian Anger to punt on 4th down. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. A 40-yard punt, no return. And it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. Saquon Barkley and the Giants offense set to kick off their next drive. And he's closing in on that number that all running backs circled beginning of the year, the number 1,000. Could do it on this drive.
And you have to think to yourself that this moment, getting to this spot, it started in the offseason, right? Not just the workouts, right? Not just getting yourself physically prepared to play, but mentally, as well as your team, as well as your unit, head coach, offensive coordinator. We run the football. We give you opportunities. He's taking advantage of it.
And when you get this close to the mark, you just hope things don't tighten up, right? You probably want to get there and get it in your rearview mirror.
You really do, don't you? Because now it becomes predominant, and you wonder about play calling as well. Do you want to call plays to get that out of the way, or are you still calling plays to win the game first? That becomes the burden of the play caller.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Jones now from the gun on 3rd down. Jones in trouble here, and down he goes. The tank, DeMarcus Lawrence with a sack.
In every game we talk about what are going to be the keys as we go into it. Maybe that's a key for their defense today. Pressure the quarterback and make sure you play a good zone defense behind them, and they get their first sack of the contest.
And here's Gillen on now to punt as he gets this one away. 31 yards on the punt there. And the Cowboys are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. Dallas offense set for this next drive. And they, if you just look at this game, Charles, on paper, they've got the edge, no doubt. They're hanging around the top of the NFC. On the other side, you got a squad that's towards the bottom of the NFC. But when we mentioned that to the coaches, they were having no part of it.
Yeah, and I like how you said when we mentioned it.
Into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked off by Xavier McKinney. And the Giants are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
And now the drive starts with a completion out to the right. That tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
To about the 35, 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
From the 35 on 2nd down, Jones and Waller taking it in over the middle. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
Barkley with a carry on first down, and he'll get about 4. So 2nd and 6 forthcoming.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the second quarter.
From the 46-yard line, a 2nd down and 6. They'll run it again with Barkley. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
But really, that was no surprise there. They've been running it well all game, and I know goals change all the time, but any team will take that type of run each and every time.
On 3rd and short, they'll try option left. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. An injury stoppage, and it looks like, it's the quarterback, Daniel Jones, receiving some assistance. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. This is taken at about the 14. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, and some guys, they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to want to look to hit a couple shorter passes, get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, their goal is not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
From the 29, here's 2nd down and 2. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Give him 4 yards as he does it himself, and it's a 1st down.
Partner, I know we're in the era of the mobile quarterback, but there's still an element of surprise when that position keeps the football, and what a nice gain on that play.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On 1st and 10, Prescott. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. All knotted up at 7. From the 38 now, here's 2nd down and 5. Looking to throw, Prescott. Here's a screen now for Pollard. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 14 yards, good for a Cowboy 1st down.
Well, I like the play design there. They occupied the defense downfield, everyone trying to account for someone. But unfortunately, they didn't account for the running back slipping out of the backfield, and he was absolutely unnoticed and wound up getting big yards on that play.
First down, Prescott. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there's not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
Throwing again, Prescott on 2nd and 10. That helps the completion percentage, but not much else, and now it's 3rd and 10.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10. And again, it's Prescott. Pollard here once again, back-to-back catches. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now.
as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. They run straight ahead here with Pollard. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Prescott urging his guys to go quickly. They need to get up and set.
A gain of a yard brings up 2nd and 9 at the Giants' 17-yard line.
2nd and 9 now.
Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down. The Cowboys signal for their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half.
To throw is Prescott. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
With how the coverage was positioned, up was about the only spot the quarterback had to try and deliver that pass. Just put a little too much height on it. Incomplete.
They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. Prescott now. Oh, he's brought down. And remember here, no timeouts left. They got to get to the line quick. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd.
Well, I could spin this negatively as he just got back to the line of scrimmage. But when you really analyze it, he took away a big play for the defense, made it an uneventful run because he avoided a sack and didn't lose yardage.
So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you two in a minute, but first, let's take a spin around the NFL and see what's going on here in week number 10. We'll start by heading out west, State Farm Stadium in Glendale, and that one getting close to halftime with the Falcons out in front. The Falcons locked in a tight one, but this is a game you feel they've got to have. From there, let's head off and check out a second game. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Lions. Justin Herbert with 2 touchdown passes. Lastly, let's get to the Windy City. See what's happening with the Bears at home at Soldier Field. And it was the visiting Carolina Panthers who were victorious in that one. Andy Dalton, sharp in the victory, as his guys get back within a game of 500. Teams making their final preparations for the second half of action. So with that, let's get you back out to Arlington, where we rejoin Brandon and Charles.
All right. Both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point.
A good, tight football game thus far. 10-7 the score as we resume action on EA Sports. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. So here are the Cowboys to take over. They've got the lead right now, and remember, they are riding that very impressive 7-game winning streak, trying to push it to 8. So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10, just shy of the 30.
Second half begins with a run by Pollard.
And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
From the 33, here's 2nd down and 7.
Now Dak on the option left. It's going to be a gain of 6 on the keeper, but it leads to a 3rd down.
Well, that's what he can do, when he keeps the football. It's not a huge gain, but it shows how hard it can be to stop him.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained, and in fact, they probably came up and felt pretty good about what they did. Then they looked up and realized he still got good yardage out of it. He's a tough guy to stop.
On 3rd down, it's Pollard. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
That's a tremendous group effort there, because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's 2nd down.
That's a ball he needs to let go of there. Wasn't the most time in the world to work through his progression, but NFL quarterbacks, they've got to sense the pressure. They've got that internal clock, and the ball has to be gone. And if you're not going to escape and run for it, you have to let it go before the pressure gets to you and puts you on the ground.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. A gain of 32 that time.
He just had the feeling that sooner or later someone was going to come up with that one play. Neither team has really done a whole lot offensively, but here's one that pays off to the tune of big yardage, and it's one that could maybe get this group in gear.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Prescott. And that's complete to Cooks. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4.
Now, I'm not putting him in the Hall of Fame, but if you look at the great linebackers in history, they all have that ability to innately sense where a play is going, sometimes even before the ball snapped, and they're there and they end up making the play.
2nd down, Prescott. Looking for Cooks, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Bobby McCain.
And the Giants are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line.
So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the 3rd quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in, coming out to start this 3rd quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Now this pass into the hands of Saquon Barkley, and he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. Good work after the catch, going to net him 23 and a 1st.
That turned into a very well-orchestrated play right there. Going to work his way out of the backfield to the right, and after he looked it in, he found plenty of space to roam and picked up big yardage.
A 1st down carry for Barkley, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Looking to throw on second down. Jones got a man. It's Darren Waller. Look at the big fella go. Touchdown, Giants. Darren Waller, his first touchdown on the year. And the Giants have retaken a third-quarter lead. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call. But he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
Extra point try good by Gano. And the lead is now 14-10. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it concludes with a touchdown reception by Darren Waller. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. Kevontae Turpin now to return. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Cowboys about set to take over on offense. Not an ideal way to end their previous drive. They threw the interception, Charles, after they had built up some momentum. They were moving the football, but something to at least build on for this offense as they run back out here.
Yeah, you're right about that. Up until that last play, everything was working pretty well for this offense, gaining chunks of yardage, getting first downs, really making a push for the end zone, and looked like they had a nice rhythm going. Now you got to have a short memory here. Don't focus on the interception. Focus on what came before it and get back to it.
Room here to run. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 84 yards on the ground here for Pollard. This is a first down.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
Got his man there, complete to Gallup. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Short completion, just 4 yards, and it'll be second down.
At their 48-yard line.
Pollard gets it off the option. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
So the drive takes them into Giants territory now, 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. It'll be a handoff to Pollard. And a good job of finding the open space to run as he's down close to the 30 here. 13 yards and a first down, Cowboys. Offensive line right now really freeing up the rushing lanes on this drive.
And we have to give them props. They've earned them. But these big runs that we're seeing, they don't result without everyone else being involved as well. Blocking on the perimeter has to take place downfield too.
Running the jet sweep as Prescott bats it forward. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line.
And a lot of times these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
From the 24 now, here's 2nd and 3. Now a give here to Pollard. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. He's going to find Gallup here complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
I love the drive they're working on here because they know they can take the lead with a touchdown, And so far on this drive, so good. They've moved the ball down the field with very little resistance defensively, but they better be prepared for some adjustments to come their way now.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Out of the gun, a give to Pollard. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Bobby Okereke making that tackle.
And when you get good yardage like that on 1st down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Back to the ground, this time with Jones. And the Cowboys are going to be set up with a 1st and goal. It's a nice run there. Gets them down to the 6-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal when we come back. Back now in Arlington. It's the Cowboys in possession of the football, but they trail here as we begin the 4th quarter of play. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. They'll run with Pollard, and a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5.
It's a gain of a yard. Brings up 2nd and goal at the 5-yard line.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. From the shotgun, a give to Jones. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to set up a 3rd and goal. Defensively, they must have been expecting a pass. They were in the dime look out there.
I think maybe they were deciding to go with speed on the field rather than bulk. I'm with you, a little bit surprising, but they wanted people getting to the ball as fast as possible. The lighter shift your defensive backs allow you that opportunity.
Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. Nothing doing there as the 13th play of the drive proves to be unlucky.
That was a huge play on 3rd down, so now what? Do you go for it? Do you trust your offense? Or do you want to put on your defense to try and get the ball back? Me? I'm going for it right here.
They'll run for it with Pollard. And he will take it in for a Cowboy score. Tony Pollard, his 11th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys answer back with a touchdown of their own to take a 4th quarter lead. The extra point splits the uprights, and it's now 17-14. That one was an extended drive, 14 plays all told. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. Hopefully, obviously, nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. We certainly have a good one on our hands. They're trailing after that last touchdown, but now a chance for this offense to try to snag that lead right back here in the 4th quarter.
Only able to gain a couple there, and it's 2nd down.
Yeah, that one was covered pretty well because they were trying to leak the tight end out into the flat. I think they were hoping he could catch and turn upfield and pick up the 1st down.
To throw again on 2nd down, Jones. And that one complete to Hodgins. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
Well, this is where an offense needs to show what it's made of, and in fact, where a quarterback needs to show what he's made of, trying to engineer a 4th quarter comeback, and he hits a big one right there.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Jones with a handoff to Barkley. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Well, now hang on here because Saquon Barkley is in some discomfort, so we're going to have a pause here for an injury.
So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15.
And they'll run it. This is James Robinson. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain. The Giants on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 14. Now Jones. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Shepard. And a nice job there defensively. They get him to the ground short of the first, right around the 42. But Charles, they're trying to protect this lead late. Those are the types of mistakes they could afford to go without.
About the last thing you want to give them is help in completing a comeback, which is exactly what that penalty does.
A bad time for a roughing penalty, and they get the gift of a 1st and 10. Off play action. Jones gets this to Waller on the crossing route. A good pick up there at 22. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Back to throw. Jones. Bellinger hauls it in out left side. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately, because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a 3rd and goal. Robinson. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. That winds up being a 4-yard loss and leads to 4th down.
Interesting decision here, because I think you've got to kick it and tie this game. If it's the 2nd quarter, maybe then you go for it. But here in the 4th, you can't come away with nothing.
So out on the field now, Graham Gano in a big spot. This will be just a 21-yard attempt. Gano's kick is good. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. I tell you, the life of a kicker. He has not been called on the entire game. He's over there by the net, but they send him out here in the 4th quarter and say, hey, go tie the game, will you? And guess what? He comes through.
I just don't know how they do it. I really don't. These cats are a different breed from you and me. That's a pressure kick, but that one was never in doubt.
And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. Tony Pollard and his Dallas teammates ready again on offense. He's already hit pay dirt twice. He's up over 100 yards. He is feeling good.
He's just zipping along today. Everything coming together for him. It's that type of a day that you see a back just kind of have a grin on his face every time his number is called, because he doesn't feel like there's going to be any lost yardage plays. Nothing but big-time positive runs.
Making the sideline grin as well. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
Now this throw caught left side. That one covers 29 yards. 1st down.
I like what I'm seeing from them here. A tie game in the 4th quarter. They understand the situation. They don't need to be in any rush. Go ahead and huddle up and run your offense. That last completion put them in a nice position to take the lead in this game.
And now a fake there, the jet sweep as they'll give to Pollard. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
You know, it's become cliche, but we have seen it and observed it. When runners have days like what we're seeing right now, they often take their offensive linemen out for steaks afterwards, don't they? They all go buy them dinner. But after a play like that, He might reduce it, might go to the corner and just grab a hot dog or two, huh?
Hey, I mean, they've still been blocking for him well in this game. They don't get one mulligan up front.
Okay, so what we're saying then is we're going petite for leg instead of porterhouse.
8 ounces. 8 ounces is good.
All right, just check.
113 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
You got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a second and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to third and manageable with that run.
Getting down to the good stuff, all tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And they're facing a big third down now in this tie ball game. Here's third down at 5. On third down, here's Jones. A good space to operate there as he takes this down inside the 35-yard line.
Probably got to like what they're doing right there. Little by little, they're getting closer. Another good pickup.
Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now. Now Prescott. Rolling to his left. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. So there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the 4th quarter, picking up the 1st.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time. And that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
This is 1st and 10. They'll go with Pollard here on 1st down. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. They'll come up now on 2nd down. Second down, Pollard again. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now a timeout called for by the defense as it comes with 1:15 left to go in the 2nd half. A big play needed, no doubt. 3rd and long. Here's Dak. They'll roll him out right. And he is not going to get to the marker as they stop him short at the 14. The Giants going to burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This for the lead in the final stages. And his kick is good. And with a little over a minute to play, they have taken the lead. Big kick right there to give them the lead in the 4th, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they managed the clock exactly right.
And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. So now Jones and the Giants down 20-17. A little over a minute to go. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on 1st down. To throw is Jones. Pass complete to Shepard. Jones. And this one is incomplete.
You're not going to get many better opportunities than that to take the lead in the 4th quarter. He's got a man wide open. But, oh, my goodness, just too much air under the ball, and he knew it right away.
Jones. They'll find Hodgins there complete. And They'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. They got exactly what they wanted there. Out route, catch, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
And I have to criticize defense here because you know the situation. You want to keep them inbounds and have the clock run. So I'm sitting on the outside.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down.
And now after that sack, we'll pause here a moment because someone was shaken up on that play. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. Here comes second down.
To throw is Wentz. And his first throw since coming in is incomplete. Back-to-back big plays defensively. First the sack. Now they force the incompletion on 3rd and long. Things looking pretty good for them.
And this is where they have to be careful because they've got the momentum going their way. They will be really amped up to get to the quarterback. Look out. Draw, screen, something that can be used against them.
One final try now for Wentz. And now this is going to depend on the spot. And they say he's just short. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Cowboys defense is going to get him the football back. Prescott, he goes down to a knee, and that should just about do it.
Well, we all just got a heck of a show, partner. This was a close game for a long time. Close at half, close down the stretch. Home team finds a way to get it done, a narrow victory.
Yeah, they finished with a flourish, didn't they? Because there were times where each side looked like they were the better team out there. And the outcome was in doubt for much of this game. Every snap seemingly more important than the previous one. Great effort from the guys visiting, but in the end, how about those guys in their home stadium finding a way to win?
So for Dallas, they're setting themselves up as a major contender as they move to 8-1 now on the
Bling, bling, bling. This all right. Business as usual. Usually I wouldn't smile. It's a cost a couple thousands and millions. And millions and millions and millions. Alright. Business as usual. Usually I wouldn't smile. Unless it costs a couple thousands and millions. And millions and millions and millions. Okay. I don't cash my new checks. It's